Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Is everything working on OBS? Yes, it is. Nice. All right. Hello, everybody. Let's get into a good sitting position. Got a little bit of music on. Gonna be a slightly different video. Me just chatting to you guys with my traditional review of the year plus plans for next year video. So, everybody, welcome, welcome. This is on the homepage of the channel. So, just in case anybody checks it out, hello and welcome to the Scots-word channel. And yeah, we're just going to chat about what's been happening on the channel over the last year or so, and then talk about the plans for 2025. Or as much of 2025 as I can predict anyway. So there we go. So nice chill vibe. Grab a cup of tea or something. Relax. And we'll get into this. So, firstly, just because this is on the homepage of the channel, so in case anybody just clicks on this and doesn't know what this channel's all about, I do a variety of content, mostly based around digital board games, or at least that is what I was doing on YouTube, and it's still going to be that way, but there's going to be some changes, so we'll get into that later. So the main thing I talk about on the channel is Fury of Dracula. So in case anybody doesn't know what Fury of Dracula is, it's a game involving this little map of Europe, this little mini version that Dracula has, and it's based on the Bram Stoker novel, and basically it's a game of resource management and hidden movement and deduction. Basically, Dracula is moving around this little map of Europe, going in between the cities, laying down encounters, basically being evil. And 4 hunter characters will try to stop Dracula. Dracula's objective is to try to gain enough influence to win the game, whereas the hunters' only objective is to kill Dracula. One of these 2 objectives will be met at some point. The game has a time limit, but it kind of also doesn't have a time limit. The amount of actions are not determined. It's based upon what happens in the game, basically. So every game is different. Lots of really cool stuff in that game. Very sort of absorbing game, and it's the main thing on my channel. I started the channel because of Fury of Dracula, recording my own gameplay, and then it's all really grown from there because I've been organising tournaments in the little community that we've got over the last almost now 3 years, 2.5 years in terms of the tournaments. And recording my own gameplay, doing live streams and recordings of other games, post-game analysis, strategy guides, all that sort of stuff. I also have been playing and recording quite a lot of Wingspan games. So if anyone doesn't know what Wingspan is, you're playing with these myriad of birds, like this little cute kingfisher, or this white stork, and woodpecker. Benelli. Sorry, insider jokes. Anyway, you're playing with these, this wonderful cast of birds, and you're putting them onto your board and activating the habitats associated with those birds to gain resources, which will hopefully help you win the game. So I had about a year or so where I was competing in tournaments and uploading tournaments on videos onto the channel, and then I've taken a break. I'm coming back to Wingspan, which I'll explain, or I've technically returned to Wingspan. Again, I'll explain that later. I used to do a playthrough Gloomhaven, but that finished, so that stopped. Over the summer just gone, I've been doing some board game arena stuff, so that's another thing I've been looking into, and other sort of standalone digital apps for board games. And I also have a podcast called Keeping You Company. That started off with me on my own, just creating videos around, actually this time last year, where really chilled out videos where I'm just chatting, just a nice little video for people to have in the background if they're trying to do some work or chores, or if you're just having a really bad day and you want something relaxing to listen to. You don't need to necessarily watch, the footage that's on the screen. Then you can do so. And I'll go more detail into that later. So that's the channel. That's the things that are kind of become a little bit known for, quote unquote, in terms of what my subscribers have subscribed to me for. So in terms of this year that's just past 2024, well, the subscriber count on the channel has doubled. So firstly, thank you to everybody who has subscribed over this year and has been tuning in and watching the videos. I really do appreciate it. So let's go through all the different things. So Fury of Dracula, we've had a really all in all successful year. I've been running 3 tournaments, so that means a lot of content on the channel in terms of me live streaming tournament games, and then I was competing in the most recent tournaments, actually the 2 most recent tournaments, so uploading my own gameplay as well. The tournaments had a few sort of sticking points, with some people dropping out, but all in all, it was really successful, and the community we've got is a very small community, but very, very dedicated, and it just keeps growing and growing. So hopefully 2025 will have more, a lot more exciting stuff in store for that, but we'll talk about that later. We also had the Immortal update, which was this massive overhaul to the digital edition of Fury of Dracula, and I was very honored that Nomad Games, the developing company of the digital edition, got in touch with me and wanted community feedback and input in order to make the Immortal update happen. So the update involved a lot of fixes to the game, and so in terms of removing bugs, and fixing some rule implementation errors and quality of life changes to the interface and stuff. So it's been quite an overhauled game in that sense, and the game's been working really, really well since then. It was working well before anyway, but it's now just been taken to the next level, and is now a lot closer to what people would think of when they think of the 4th edition of the physical board game. So that update's been great, and it's also been fantastic to see that collaboration between Nomad and then the community. The Immortal update was released as a beta, so as players we were able to test sort of the function of the Immortal update. If there were issues with the fixes, we got onto Nomad about it, and then they fixed it straight away. And then as the beta was ongoing, even more changes were made to the game, more quality of life changes and such. So it's a really transformative and collaborative 2 or 3 months of that process going on for. We had a tournament in the middle of it to help us test out the games under competitive tournament in sort of setting rather than just friendly games. And then we've had the most recent World Championship, the League of Dracula, running over the last few months with the updated game, and it's worked out really well. So we're really happy with how that all went. So thank you very much to all the folks at Nomad for sort of getting the community involved in terms of listening to our feedback and sort of facilitating the beta and everything. And also thank you to all the Fury of Dracula community for, you know, helping out in terms of bug reporting and all that sort of stuff. As I said with Wingspan, I took a break. Just because sort of around this time last year the Oceania expansion came out, and at that time I'd spent so much time trying to get to learn, really get to grips with the baseboard and the European expansion. Not that I was very good by any means. I was definitely progressing, but it's not as if I was making finals of tournaments or anything. But the tournament community they've got over there is so massive that it's very difficult to get to the last stage of tournaments. But I was progressing, which is the main thing, and that's why I was enjoying the game. But then Oceania expansion came out, and at that moment in time, I didn't know if I liked the expansion, and also I'd have to really rethink how to play the game, because the board had changed and the distribution of resources were different. And then just because I got really sucked into a Fury of Dracula tournament and then the Immortal update, I didn't go back to Wingspan very much. But now, more recently, towards the end of this year, in the last sort of 2 or 3, 4 weeks, the Fury of Dracula tournament I was doing had finished, and I was thinking, well, this might be the right time to go into Wingspan again. So I picked up Wingspan again, really enjoying it. I'm going to take part in tournaments to get better, which means I'm going to lose a lot of games at the beginning, but that's fun for you guys to watch. But anyway, so yeah, not much Wingspan on the channel, but there'll be more of it in 2025. I'm with Fury of Dracula, it's very much doing a mixture of gameplay and commentary and strategy guides. With Wingspan, it will only be my own gameplay, because there's plenty of more knowledgeable people than me who can do the commentary and strategy guides. So it'll just be me playing the game and then, you know, talking to the community in terms of how do I get better and that sort of stuff. In the summer, I did some videos of playing games on Board Game Arena, and also some standalone digital board game apps. And I can't remember what games I played. I played Sagrada once. Did I play Raiders of the North Sea? I think I did, or I was intending to. One or the other. And I'm trying to think any other standalone apps that I played. Probably are, I can't remember any of them. But playing stuff on Board Game Arena, Welcome to, Ticket to Ride, Azul, no Castle of Burgundy yet, but I'll get around to that, Carcassonne, all that good stuff. Excuse me. It's probably doing it in one take. And those videos were really great to record. I had a lot of fun trying out different games and playing them. The videos themselves were probably not that successful, even though I had some really nice comments from people in terms of people from especially from the Fury of Dracula community who saw those videos and were like, "Oh, that's really cool. You're doing that stuff out. I also play these games too." But they probably don't work for a standalone video. It'd be more if I focused on one game. I know there's a channel. I don't know if they're still uploading videos, but they definitely were, called Scotsword Network, and that channel was mostly focused on Ticket to Ride. So I think if you develop a nice little niche for yourself on one game, then I think you can build up of an audience. Because I was sort of scattergun, right? I was playing lots of different games because I just wanted to play lots of different games, right? I didn't want to play the same thing week after week, or video after video. So because of that, trying to build up an audience is a little bit difficult. And also it's the summer, people might not be as likely to be watching videos outside having fun and all that stuff. So yeah, those weren't so successful, so I probably won't do them again, but I've potentially found another way to get around that problem. I've just realised that I've probably been chopping off the top of my head for the last few minutes, but that's fine. We'll go with the flow. It's very chilled out. I found a potential way around that, so I'll get onto that in a sec. I've been really trying to sort of improve the quality on the channel. I say that after I've just been probably chopping off my head with the camera for the last 10 minutes. Like the intro sort of clip that you saw before this video, that's a new addition. When I've been doing Fury of Dracula live streams, trying to improve the quality of them with transitions between different sources and scenes. We got like a funny live stream reel that runs before the live stream starts with funny clips and memes and things just to keep people occupied. I've now got double monitor set up now, which means I can actually look at chat while I'm live streaming, which is great. So you get that interaction going. I'm not having to look at my phone and stuff. So yeah, I'm just trying to sort of increase the sort of the quality on the channel a little bit, especially in terms of the visuals and things. I mean, my setup is never going to change. I've still got the same laptop, same inbuilt webcam and things, right? Better microphone, even though it's been a little bit weird in terms of setup. I think the sound quality is better than it was before. So just slowly trying to improve things, but I know I don't have the money and stuff to invest in upgrading. I'm just trying to do what I can inside like the setup I've got, and then trying to utilize my skills in terms of PowerPoint and stuff to try and make things look a little bit better. And then lastly, in terms of the podcast in 2024, as I said, it started on my own at Christmas time last year, so 2023. Did a few episodes, sort of putting out one a month. And then Rukamania, one of my friends from the Fury of Dracula community, joined me. And it's not so much that the focus of the podcast changed, but it's a different vibe. The fact that there's somebody else in the podcast with me, and we're bouncing ideas back and forth. Rook's got lots of really cool ideas that he's brought to the table in terms of things we can talk about. I mean, the vibe is still the same. We just chat about things which are interesting to us, but because we've got shared experiences in terms of living abroad, the culture clashes between, you know, the UK and the US and things, and we're both, you know, big fans of music and language learning and things. So we've got a lot of common stuff that we can chat about. We've also done cultural quizzes about the UK and the US, testing out each other's knowledge. So it's just a case of just almost like a rambling podcast. We just talk about what we want to talk about. So we've been putting out a podcast sort of once a month. We want to try and do more, but it's just a case of time restraints. And also, you'll notice that the podcast recordings are very long. When each podcast comes out, you're looking at about 3 hours, at least. So, yeah, it's just a case of when we have time, and we'll sit down and, you know, do a recording. The background footage I use for the podcast has also changed. I initially started with Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, which is really cool. It was a nice, gentle vibe. However, I've got issues with Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. Sometimes it's a bit laggy on this computer, and I don't want to turn down the graphic settings too low, because then it looks a little bit meh in terms of quality. The other issue I was trying to work out is, when I was doing it on my own, I normally record the audio while I was playing the game, which was fine until I ended up with crashes, or if a recording got corrupted. That doesn't happen very often, but if something went wrong with the recording, or there's lots of lag or something, then I would have basically lost all the visual, but also the audio. And then there are a couple of times where I end up redoing a recording on the same topic, and it didn't have the same enthusiasm for the conversation or whatever the topic was I was talking about. So now that we're doing Rukamania, it's very different. I've got pre-recorded footage, which then we talk over the top of. And then if it's, I've been doing some Stardew Valley, and then over the summer, when I had my summer break, I did a lot of recording on my phone of just scenery and birds and just random stuff right in the street. So I'm able to stitch them together and create a nice little sort of stock footage almost video that can just loop over and over as we're talking, so we're not having to think about time constraints and stuff. And that's probably what I'm gonna keep doing for the foreseeable. I do have some Euro Truck Simulator banked up. I can easily go on to Stardew Valley if need be, but I've got lots of stock footage, I'm gonna call it stock footage that I recorded myself, so we got plenty for probably at least the first half of the year, so that's great. So we'll see how that goes in 2025. But yeah, if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, a nice chilled out podcast to listen to, we just hear two people just chatting about things that interest them, culture, language learning, living abroad, all that stuff, music as well, then keeping you company is probably the thing for you. And as I said, it's just something to have very chill in the background while you're trying to sleep or work or if you're having a bad day. That's the plan for that. So now looking on to 2025, what's going to happen on the channel? There's going to be a few changes in how to do things. The biggest change that's going to happen is, you'll probably notice from the intro little clip, I'm also now on Twitch. That's the big change. Originally, I was only live streaming Fury of Dracula on YouTube, but then in the last sort of 2, 3, 4 weeks, especially once Fury of Dracula tournament was winding down, I started live streaming other stuff. A little bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon, a little bit of Wingspan, and then I basically got a little bit of a push from somebody to maybe try out Twitch. And I tried Twitch out a little bit before Christmas, and at the moment it's working out really well. The leap from doing stuff on YouTube to Twitch was not as big as I thought it would be. Setting up the streams is actually a little bit easier than YouTube, weirdly, even though YouTube was not that difficult. So yeah, I think that's neat. So the big change is going to be, I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch I'm doing it now, but basically from the new year onwards. So I'm going to have to come up with a bit of a schedule. As of the time of recording, I've set in my mind to be streaming on Mondays nights and Wednesday nights. That's because once I've got my work schedule planned, the year coming up, they're the 2 evenings that I'm free, in the sense that I would be able to get home from work at a reasonable hour and have dinner and chill out and then stream. If I was to stream any other night, it's definitely possible I could stream other nights, but there'd be a rush between me getting home and eating and then starting the stream, just because I'll be working late those evenings. I could also stream at the weekend, but I don't want to set a fixed schedule for weekend streaming, because all of you will know, right, weekends are a bit unpredictable. Some weekends I might be really free, other weekends I might not be. I might be doing traveling or, trips or whatever, right? So I don't want to commit and say I'm definitely going to be streaming every Saturday evening, because I might not stream for half the Saturdays in a month or whatever. Then people might be wondering, well, why are you saying you're going to stream on Saturday if you're not streaming? So I'm going to go with a Monday and Wednesday stream for now. I normally start my streams at 10 o'clock in the evening Spanish time. So that's 2200 hours Spanish time. So that's 9 p.m. 2100 hours UK time / UTC, depending on the time of year. So let's say UTC, GMT to make it easier. So then that would be currently 4 p.m. Eastern time in the US. So I think it's a decent time. It is a little bit later than I would like, but I know from 10 o'clock more or less onwards I won't be interrupted, so it's probably the best time for me. If I can start earlier, I'll start earlier. If it's a little bit later, it's a little bit later, but more or less around 10 o'clock. So it's good because I'll be still able to catch most of the Europeans before they go off to bed, and then I'll be able to catch at least the eastern side of the US as they're coming back home from work, because I'll be streaming for about a couple of hours each time, 2 or 3 hours. So that's the plan. It's the only reliable time that I can stream, and I know I won't get interrupted. So we're going to go with that. If I can stream more, I'll stream more. What is the content of these streams going to be? So the 2 streams that I can guarantee every week, they're going to have fixed content. Monday is going to be Roller Coaster Tycoon night. I realize Roller Coaster Tycoon is not a digital board game, but it was a game I did on stream before Christmas on YouTube, and it was really good fun. We had people from different communities dropping in, from the Fury of Dracula community and Wingspan community were dropping in. We had a really nice vibe going on, naming guests after the people in chat and so on, and then it means that the chat can interact with me, help me build my parks, all that sort of thing. Roller Coaster Tycoon is a massive nostalgia trip for me because it was one of the first games along with Transport Tycoon that I used to play. So that's something I want to sort of recapture, and I want to revisit that. So starting off from the new year, we're going to be playing through Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic, which is like Roller Coaster 1 and 2 combined, and going through as many scenarios as we can. And if I fail, it doesn't really matter, because you're just watching me build a park, and if it fails, it fails. It doesn't really matter, right? So don't expect me to be Marcel Voss or anyone like that, right? I'm not great at the game, but I just want to play, because it's a nice chilled out game to have on stream. So that's the plan for Monday. So Monday nights, more or less 10 o'clock Spanish time, so 9 p.m. in the UK, 4 p.m. Eastern US, we're going to be playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. And then at the same time on Wednesdays, I'm going to be alternating between Fury of Dracula and Wingspan. I was thinking maybe doing 3 streams a week, so I could do a Fury of Dracula stream and a Wingspan stream, but I think that might be too much. So we'll just guarantee it for now to have Fury of Dracula 1 week, and then Wingspan the next week, and then flip-flop. I know there's a prominent member, Flan, on YouTube and Twitch. He's called Winging It. I know he is a prominent streamer and content creator for Wingspan, and he has a stream on Wednesday night. But by the time I start streaming, Winging It will be offline, so we won't overlap very much. So maybe the very tail end of his stream might clash with mine, but not very much. But that means then there's even more Wingspan on a Wednesday, so that's great. That's the deal. So yeah, I'll flip-flop between Fury of Dracula and Wingspan. Because of the length of Fury of Dracula games, it is very possible that I might only play one Fury of Dracula game in a stream, depending on availability of players and such. So if I finish the Fury of Dracula game, and I've got a little bit of extra time, but I don't want to play another Fury of Dracula game, well, then I could play a little bit of Wingspan, or some Board Game Arena, or something else, right? It would just depend week on week. We'll see how things go. And the same with the Wingspan games. We'll play maybe 2 or 3 per stream, depending on number of players and such. And if there's suddenly a little bit of leftover time, but there's maybe not enough time for Wingspan, then I can play something different. But in general, I want to stick to that format. Monday nights, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then Fury of Dracula or Wingspan, alternating weeks on Wednesday nights, and they're both at 10 p.m. Spanish time, 9 p.m. UK time /UTC. Okay. If I'm able to stream more during the week, then I will. It will just be based upon availability. Some weeks I might be able to stream quite a lot. Other weeks I might only be able to stream twice a week. We'll go with the flow. If I can stream more, then the live streams will be random. It'll be like variety gaming. We could easily have a stream where I play lots of different games on Board Game Arena. So that's why I'm going to get the Board Game Arena back into the live streams. And that's actually really good, because I can then play with you guys who come into the chat. So I think that would be a really neat idea. I've already done that with some members of the Fury of Dracula community, and it worked really well. So that's something we can definitely do. Other digital board game apps, I've picked up, I can't remember how it's called, Zero of the tsunami. Zero, I guess it would be pronounced. Zero of the Seas. I butchered that pronunciation. Sorry about that. The one where you're moving like little stones around along the lines on the map, and if you fall off the edge of the map, you lose. I've got Sagrada. I've got Root that I need to try, but I need to get my head around that. Rays of the North Sea. Oh goodness, I should really have my Steam library up, and then I might be able to remember. I've got the Carcassonne official app, but I know it's on Board Game Arena as well. There are more. Mystic Vale is another board game I want to learn. Small World, but again, that's on Board Game Arena now as well. Splendor, all that good stuff, right? There's loads of things we can play. We've got that as a possibility. in the Steam Winter Sale, I've also picked up some other really chilled out games. I picked up Tiny Glade. I've started playing it. Oh my goodness, that game's amazing. If you don't know what it is, it's like this sort of sandbox builder. It's really awesome. So you've got Tiny Glade, Townscaper. Let me go up the list very quickly. Spring Falls is like this sort of puzzle game. Spirit of the North. That's more be a playthrough. I picked this up a long time ago, but I've bought Ori and the Blind Forest. So that'd be a really cool thing we can maybe do as a playthrough on stream. Sorry. Oh, I forgot. I got Quilts and Cats of Calico. That's another digital board game I've got. There's Open TTD. That's Transport Tycoon. Could definitely do that on stream. Mini Metro. Oh, Love Letter. Of course, another board game. East Shade, another chilled out game. Well, it looks like very chill and cozy anyway. I could play through the Age of Empires 3 campaign, right? Basically, and also there's also Tabletop Simulator if we get a group together and want to play something on Tabletop Simulator. Basically, there are loads of options. Okay? If there's anything in particular from that huge list of games that would interest you, then leave it in the comments below, and I'll definitely see your comments. And if it's something that would be particularly interesting for people to watch, not that I'm good at the games necessarily, but just to watch someone play it in a really chilled out way, then we can definitely do it. So these variety streams, any additional streams I can do, will go with the flow. If I start playing something like Ori and the Blind Forest and people really like it, we can just play through all that until it's done. If it means every different stream I'm hopping between different things, that's fine too. We'll just go with the flow and we'll see how things sort of work out. Okay, so that's the plan. So I want to try and get back into do this live streaming. I really want to try and build up a nice little community and also connect the people that I've got subscribed to me on YouTube from the different communities like the Fury of Dracula community, Wingspan, because I know there's a lot of overlap in terms of other games that people play. If random people on Twitch find me doing Roller Coaster Tycoon or Ori or whatever, then that's great. And we just create this, and also people who have maybe subscribed for Keeping You Company. If you want something with a Keeping You Company vibe, but live, so you can chat to me. And if you don't want to wait a whole month for your fix of the podcast, then you can come into the Twitch stream too. So it'll be a nice chill out space. It'll be music like this playing in the background, or maybe the chill music from the game. I'll be interacting with the chat. You can ask me any questions you want about the game or other stuff. I had a stream a few nights ago where we just ended up talking about Christmas dinner traditions, and that was really nice. So yeah, basically anything is on the table in terms of those streams. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, then please go into the description below where you'll find a link to my Twitch stream. Please go and give me a follow. You get lots of hype if you do that, and if you come into the chat and say hi, you get a lot of hype from me. So thank you so much if that's the case. So because I'm doing a lot of live streaming, then the content on the channel is going to change a little bit. In terms of Fury of Dracula, I want to transition from going from gameplay to strategy guides. There are a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, because I have a lot of ideas for strategy guides, and then I never end up doing them because I just get sidetracked doing other stuff, playing games and then organizing tournaments and stuff. So I want to transition to doing more strategy guides. I've got ideas for at least a dozen videos in my head, but I need the time to sit and make because you know me, when I do my strategy guides, I like to create nice PowerPoint slides and make them look good and stuff, as professional as possible. Also, something a little bit more personal, but I'm trying to organize a sort of a career change for me at the moment, and that new career I want to go into potentially is going to involve more sort of graphic design and presentations and stuff. So any opportunity I've got to get onto PowerPoint and make some cool stuff, then I want to do it. So I want to transition more. Obviously, if I'm making the strategy guides, they need time to be made, so it means I can't spend as much time playing games. So I'm going to try and dedicate most of my game playing time to be inside the live streams, and then the time outside of live streams I'll be making strategy guides. That's the plan. And the other reason why I don't want to do as much Fury of Dracula gameplay is because, firstly, we've already got tournaments ongoing throughout the year. We got either 2 or 3 tournaments a year depending on participation numbers and stuff. So during those tournament sort of seasons, if you like, we have a lot of gameplay anyway. Also for me personally, I don't have as much I've got to phrase this very carefully. I don't have as much sort of initiative to play Fury of Dracula as much because I've just played so much of it. Don't get me wrong, I love the game so much. Anybody who watched me competing in the previous tournament or the last tournament, you'll know how excited I get playing that game, right? So I have not fallen out of love with the game at all. But just because I've played 1,000 hours of it at this point, I don't have as much, as the Spanish would say, ganas, right? I don't have as much enthusiasm to boot up Fury of Dracula because I've played it so much. I want to play other stuff. When it comes down to tournament time, I will still do loads of streaming if as much as possible. If I can compete, I'll compete. I will do gameplay. Obviously, I want to do matches on stream and stuff. But I'm not sitting here going, oh my goodness, I have to play Fury of Dracula every single night, like I did when I first joined the community, because I'm in a different stage of my journey with Fury of Dracula. The other reason is because there are so many fantastic people in the community now who are recording gameplay of their either tournament games or friendly games. And I want to give them time and space for their videos to shine and not just saturate, you know, with so many videos to watch. So, in my opinion, I would rather let other people, and by the way, all the links to the amazing people who are recording games of Fury of Dracula in the description below. If you're a fan of Fury of Dracula, go and give them a follow and a like and so on. Thank you. But I want to give them time to shine, and not sort of, you know, compete with them for space too much. So I'd rather let them record gameplay, and then I can focus on trying to make as high quality as possible strategy guides. That's the plan. If I play a game on stream of Fury of Dracula that was particularly interesting, either very enjoyable, or there's a really good vibe, or there's a really good learning outcome from it, then what I can do is I can download the stream from Twitch, edit out anything, you know, the bits and pieces either side of it, and upload the gameplay as a video on the channel. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to say for now, every single week on a Friday at 6 p.m. Spanish time, there will be a Fury of Dracula video, either gameplay or strategy. We'll see if I can hold myself to that schedule, and we'll take it from there. What else? Wingspan. There'll be lots of Wingspan coming up. I want to be competing in tournaments. The games are much shorter, so it's much easier for me to quickly play them sort of spontaneously whenever. Recording them is very easy. So there'll be lots of Wingspan. So if you're a fan of Wingspan, don't worry, there'll be lots of Wingspan on the channel, on live streaming and standalone videos, so don't worry about that. Keeping you company, the podcast, as I said, we're going to try to aim for once a month. So Keeping You Company always comes out on the first Sunday of every month. The first calendar Sunday. It's not every 4 weeks, it's the first calendar Sunday of every month. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. If there are other recordings, if we can record more, then they'll come out on other Sundays. But it'll just depend on availability. I mean, I'm going to be busy doing live streaming and also real life stuff and trying to sort out my career and everything. Aruka's also busy with his work, and also he has Translation Born, which is his own YouTube series that has been, you know, sort of long running, but he puts a lot of quality and time into that. If you're interested, he does the Japanese to English translation of Bloodborne and looking at aspects of the game and character dialogue and all that stuff. So it takes a lot of his time, because again, he wants to create a good product with it. So I don't want to say product, because that sounds a bit, you know, he wants to create a really you know, really informative material, right? So that takes a lot of time, and also just real life stuff, right? So we'll do as best as we can to record more, but we can't promise it. It just depends on how things go. But I've really enjoyed the chats with Aruk. I mean, I'd happily talk to him without the podcast, right? So if we can also record the chats that we have, and then other people can enjoy them and hopefully keep you company, then that's great. What else? I think that's it. I've got a whole batch of notes here. I think I've said everything. I guess the other thing is, I've started doing it on the channel already, I'm going to change the format of my thumbnails. Especially people who have known me for a long time from Fury of Dracula, and also Wingspan, to maybe a less... maybe, some, I mean, I've taken a gap, or I've taken a break from Wingspan, so maybe people don't realise. But if you look at my oldest videos on my channel, especially for Fury of Dracula that I created, the thumbnails were always very meme-based. If you're from the Wingspan community, think Winging It thumbnails, it's kind of the same thing. But I used to do that for Fury of Dracula as well. So my thumbnails have always been very meme-based, which is really fun. I really enjoy making them. They always get, well, I hope they get a good laugh from the people who are watching them. But the issue is sometimes it can be a bit hard trying to think of what the meme should be for the thumbnail. And it takes a bit of time to make them. And if I'm going to be doing this live streaming and trying to make high quality strategy guides, and also competing in Wingspan tournaments, and I've got, real life stuff going on, time has to get cut from somewhere. So I'm going to go to a slightly more simplistic, but hopefully cleaner looking thumbnail style. I don't mean that as a put down for anybody who does meme-based thumbnails, right? I love them. I think they're really funny and really cool, and when you see the memes, they make you laugh and whatever. And I think they're really interactive, but I need to cut time. So my thumbnails from now on are going to be a sort of a templated image that I've created. So for Fury of Dracula, it's just going to be an image of, I think it's from the Misdirect card, right? Dracula with his cape, looking menacing over the street down below. And then for Wingspan, I just literally threw all the Wingspan cards onto my sofa and took a photograph, and then sort of put it into the background of the thumbnail and made it darker and stuff. So I'm going to use these templated images and then literally just write like a title of some sort on the thumbnail. That will reduce the amount of time that I spend on thumbnails, which will mean hopefully I'll have more time dedicated to be able to do other stuff and not having to constantly think, oh my goodness, what is this meme going to be, right? I can just put a nice sort of simple title that people know what they're clicking on, and then that'll do it. So I'm sort of trying to channel my creativity from one thing into another thing, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll just have to see. Also, I'm for all my videos except for Keeping You Company, I'm gonna drop the episode number, the video number, just again so it looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit crisp, I guess. Yeah. Oh, the other thing I'll do is, so if there's anything really interesting from a Twitch stream, I will download the Twitch stream off camera and edit so I only have the particular part that I want to highlight, and then I'll put that onto my YouTube channel. So I will do that for Fury of Dracula games. If for some reason Wingspan content isn't as regular for some reason, if I keep getting knocked out of tournaments very early, then I can upload some Wingspan games from, because the problem is with Twitch, at the moment, the Twitch VODs are only available to replay for 7 days. And also, I don't know how many people rewatch Twitch streams which already happened. Leave a comment below if you watch Twitch streams back after the fact. I know I certainly don't. Maybe other people do, I'm not sure. And they're not like the live streams I would do on YouTube if they're Fury of Dracula based, because they're tournaments, so a lot of people will go and watch tournament games back afterwards. If it's just a friendly, then maybe they wouldn't. I'm not sure. But anyway, so yeah, I will download the Twitch streams and store them and keep them just in case, and I will edit out any particular parts if that could make a good video. For the Rollercoaster Tycoon streams, I will probably just instantly export the stream over to YouTube. So if people can't make the stream, but they want to have a really chilled out video every week of me just playing Rollercoaster Tycoon, listening to music, and just chatting with the people who have come to watch, I can easily do that, right? So I guess that would be very late Monday night / Tuesday morning on my channel. A video will come up, which will be, or if I can schedule it, that'd be even better, to try and schedule it for the Tuesday, maybe Tuesday evening. That's all my videos come out at a similar time, around 6 o'clock Spanish time. I'll upload the Rollercoaster Tycoon video just in case anybody misses anything. And it'll be interesting to see how many people actually watch it back and how many don't. But anyway, so I think that's it in terms of plans. That's what's going to be happening on my sort of channel page. I'll update all the times and stuff. But basically, yeah. So summary. Let's see if I remember this. Twitch streams: Monday night Rollercoaster Tycoon, Wednesday night Spanish time, Fury of Dracula or Wingspan, alternating. Any other streams I can do at the weekends in the afternoon or the evening, or other evenings during the week. I will just do a variety of stuff. If there's something in particular that the stream really likes, we'll keep doing that repetitively. If not, we'll just bounce it back and forth between different games or whatever I feel like. You can play, if it's a game like Board Game Arena or something like cooperative or whatever, and you want to join, just come into the live stream chat and say, hey, let's play a game of Carcassonne or Love Letter or whatever. And if that fits the vibe of the stream that I'm doing, then we can do that, right? No problem at all. If it's something that's going to be a little bit more complex, that will need more time set up, maybe something on Tabletop Simulator or something of that sort, just send me a message on Discord and we can try to organize it. And then there'll be a Fury of Dracula video every week on Friday at 6 p.m. Either gameplay or strategy guides. So yeah, that would be the way I want to go about that one. Wingspan videos will come out whenever they become available, but they'll be coming out at the same time, 6 p.m. Spanish time. I'll try and stagger them, so even if I play a lot of games in a sort of short space of time, I'll try to upload them maybe once every 2-3 days, so there's a little bit of time for people to watch the videos, but I won't spread them out so much that then they don't become relevant, right? I don't want to have a situation where, you know, I'm talking about getting eliminated from the first round of a competition when that competition's already finished, right? I don't think many people will want to watch that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just me. So I'll try and keep them as relevant as possible to the time frame of the tournament, so they're not, you know, 6 months backdated or something. And then keeping you company first Sunday of every month. There you go. I think that's everything. So lastly, before I go, as I said, if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it greatly if that's the case. I read all the comments, so feel free to comment on any video with advice, with tips, if you enjoyed it, anything. I see all the comments, and I really appreciate everybody who comments. Please go and follow me on Twitch, and then so you'll know when I'm going live, and you can jump in and see what games that we're playing. And then, yeah, lastly, I just want to say a big thank you to some people. Firstly, to Nomad. I said it earlier, but to Nomad, the amazing people at Nomad Games. Not only for the Immortal update, but also just for their really positive collaboration with the community, and of course then all the other members of the Fury of Dracula community for their participation in tournaments, or helping me admin, or recording games, or doing commentary, or just even if you've come to watch the games, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. All the people from the Wingspan community as well. That community is really welcoming. And also, I mean, this is, I don't know if I've said, I maybe said this in a stream once, but I maybe haven't said it in a video. But when I first joined the Wingspan community, I was going to buy the game. I think I'd bought the game at that point, but I hadn't got around to playing it. But I realized they had not only the normal Discord server for Wingspan, but there's also a tournament server. So I just quickly hopped in, and I saw there were, you know, I think 1,000 people at that point, and they'd done loads of tournaments. And this was over 2 years ago. I was about to organize the first League of Dracula competition. And I came into the Discord, and nobody knew me from anybody, right? I was just a random person. And I just asked, okay, hey, I am going to play this game. I'm really interested to play Wingspan with you guys. But in the meantime, I'm trying to organize a tournament. It seems like you guys are good at organizing tournaments. Can anybody help me? And the amazing Flan, winging it, came along and said, yep, ask me questions, no problem. And there was no judgment at all. Really helpful advice. That was really sort of... And a lot of the stuff that I have implemented in the Fury of Dracula community server that I created for Discord is very much inspired by the Wingspan community. So, you know, real props to them. They've done a really good job with that community over there in terms of keeping things, you know, running, and they're running multiple tournaments. I was going to say a year, not really. There are multiple tournaments simultaneously. And it's a different scale to what Fury of Dracula's in, but got a lot of inspiration from them, and all the people over there are really, really nice. So to the Wingspan community, thank you so much. To my podcast co-host, there we go, Arukamania, for all our chats. Thank you, Aruk. You've been an absolute legend. And also, you'll notice that Arukamania normally comments on most of my videos with timestamps or with general comments and stuff. So, Aruk, thank you very much. An absolute legend. A big thank also to Beans on Toast. You know who you are. Thank you for giving me the push to go onto Twitch. We'll see how the first couple of months of the year go and see how it goes. But at the moment, it's going very well. So thank you so much for your encouragement. And also a big thanks to Iron Batteries. You know who you are. For your advice on Twitch and all that stuff. So thank you very much, buddy. I think that's everybody. If I've forgotten anybody, I'm really sorry. But I appreciate it a lot. So thank you so much for all your help and advice and feedback and comments and likes and follows and subscribes and all that good stuff. So yeah, just, you know, trying to create a nice little cozy little community over here, looking at, you know, things that we love: board games, music, chill out vibes, right, without the stress of, you know, a really toxic or competitive game, which is fast paced or something, because that's not my style. I've now kind of realized I'm not really a first person shooter type of guy. I just like taking nice slow turns playing a game. So if any of you are also the same, then you're very welcome. I think that's everything. I just noticed from my list there are a couple of things that from the variety of games that we could play on stream. I forgot to say a couple. Trapper's Delight, Duck Game, that's also a possibility. So if they're games that you know, we can definitely play them. And yeah, this has been going on for 45 minutes, so I'm going to stop. I need to go to bed. I'll load this video first and then go to bed. But thank you, everybody. So I'm looking over here because I got my OBS. I'm just paranoid that something has gone wrong. I've already recorded this video once and I messed it up. So I don't want to do it again, because it loses that authenticity if you record this over and over. But anyway, but thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video. Thank you very much for checking out my stuff. If it's one video or all my videos, thank you so much. And I'll see you soon, I guess. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you in a video or a live stream very soon. And lastly, I hope you've had a good 2024, and I hope you have an even better 2025. And just remember, if any time that you're having a bit of a rough period, because a year is long, lots of things can happen, just know that you've got some cozy videos to come back to on here. They'll always be here waiting for you if you need them. Hopefully you won't, but if you do, then I'm here to help with that. But I hope you've had an amazing festive period and all the best for 2025. And we'll see where this year takes me, personally. It's going to be a bit unpredictable with career change and other stuff going on, but we'll see how much I can keep up with this schedule that I've set for myself, and if things change later on, then we'll go with the flow. All right. So take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye. Nope, that didn't work, because I can't remember what hotkey you used for the transition. Professional. Bye-bye, everybody.